Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you these yummy and beautiful chocolate truffles. For this recipe you need 3 simple ingredients: 250 grams of dark chocolate chips, 125 grams of heavy cream, and 25 grams of butter. To the chocolate chips, I'm going to add my heavy cream, which I have just heated up on the stove just before it boils. And I'm gonna add the zest of half of an orange. This is optional, but the citrusy notes that this adds goes really well with the chocolate. Just make sure that you're only taking the yellow part and none of the pith. Let it sit undisturbed for 5 minutes so the chocolate can start to melt. After 5 minutes, gently start mixing with a spatula, and this is going to look a little bit broken, but that's normal. And then slowly continue mixing. You're going to notice it's going to turn darker and it's going to look shinier. Add the butter and continue mixing. If the butter hasn't fully melted or there are still a few pieces of chocolate chips, you can microwave in 10-second increments and continue to stir until you have a shiny and lump-free mixture. Cover this mixture with plastic wrap, pushing all the way, leaving no air to prevent a film from forming, and refrigerate for about 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, remove the plastic wrap. This chocolate ganache has the consistency of Nutella, so now it will be easy to be scooped and portioned out. The ideal size for these truffles will be 2 teaspoons. I'm using here a cookie scoop, so if you're using the same, I recommend that you fill it only halfway. This recipe should give you about 24 truffles, and once it's portioned out, chill again for about 30 minutes until firm. Now comes the messy part. I'm wearing plastic gloves, and I'm gonna take each portion and roll it out as smooth as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I like to keep them a little bit rustic to show they are homemade. Once I've rolled all these portions, I'm going to insert a toothpick halfway into each ball and refrigerate for about 20 minutes to let them firm up a little bit before dipping. Now I have melted my chocolate ready for dipping, and I'm going to take each ganache ball and quickly dip it and then tap the excess off, and then set it on the baking tray, which is lined with parchment paper, and I'm gonna add some sprinkles for decoration. This part can be a little bit tricky. You have to work a little bit fast, otherwise the heat of the dipping chocolate can soften the ganache and then it can detach and come off of the toothpick, which makes it really hard to work with. I'm going to continue dipping my ganache balls. I'm going to use white chocolate as well, and I'm going to let them set. This can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes at room temperature. Now that the chocolate has set, I'm going to remove the toothpick by gently twisting and pulling off. And just to cover that hole, you can add a little bit more melted chocolate and add a few more sprinkles. But I just found that adding the sprinkles just went in the hole and covered it up, so I didn't need to add any more melted chocolate. And these are ready to be served. I'm going to use these mini cupcake liners to serve each truffle in it. So here's the finished product. Look how good and festive they look. They also smell amazing. And you can serve them in a pretty platter like I have here, or you can pack them in a box if you're planning to give this to someone. Store the leftovers in an airtight container for a couple of days. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!